What's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored. I'm with my man, Alan. We are the Bridge and Tunnel Connect, Nolan Hash, and the Beast from the East.
With the least
research. So, just as we're messing around, we're talking, we're prepping for the show, I was like, yeah, let me check out what the charts look like, you know what I mean? And see where Germany lies, see how Germany has abandoned us, or if they've come back to the crew, Anyway, up on the screen right now, I'd like to show you where Germany now lies, and you're dead to me, Germany. Let's put it that way. And drum roll. Brrr, boom! However, the Philippines has taken over for Germany, and we are higher than we ever were in Germany in the Philippines, in the wrestling category, on Apple Podcasts. We are number 3. Shout out to all the Filipinos and Filipinas out there. We love you. Obviously, yes. My lovely girlfriend as well. And overall in the Philippines, we are number 47 in sports. That's fucking awesome.
That's pretty good. Top 50.
So, you know what, Germany? We don't need you. We decided we do not need you. Look at that right on the screen there. Jimmy, look at that, baby. This is huge. That's all.
Huge.
It's huge. We are the best. So, yeah, So I had to show that off,
Good
Gonna
stuff.
Do a little partying later. A little celebration.
Stuff. Yeah.
Look at those numbers. Germany, disappointing us. All joking aside, that was pretty funny. I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to mess around about Germany and, show that we're making inroads in other countries as well.
Yeah, maybe each week will be top 5 in a different region of the world if we're lucky.
You never know. That'd be fucking amazing.
Exactly.
So where's Jimmy? Jimmy's like, yo, get this wreck on the road in the chat. And then he fucking just totally no-sells our gimmick right there. Motherfucker, man. You can't call it with these guys. Uh-oh. My tablet didn't want to go on. Get to my notes, goddammit. So there wasn't too much miscellaneous that I noticed for the week.
No, so relatively quiet.
Yeah. So we're just gonna pretty much get to the nitty-gritty here. We could start with TNA. Impact. The whole Impact segment. Oh, there's Jimmy. He says, I'm here. Had to pay off the Germans. Oh, man, I love it. The fucking heel. The heel versus the face is here.
Yeah.
They fucking heel turned on me last week, right? The end of the show.
Yeah, seriously.
Jimmy and Simon said, fuck you, Bill. We're heel turning. All right, you know what? Before we get going, as always, I got thrown off here a little because I wanted to have some fun at the beginning. But like, share, subscribe. UncensoredAlliance.com is where you find everything we do. Twitter, AEW Uncensored, one word. Email, AEW Uncensored Podcast @gmail.com. Send us love mail, hate mail, comments, questions, things you want read on the air. If you don't want it read on the air, just put it in the email and we won't read it on air. On Facebook, we have a page and a group, AEW Uncensored Podcast. Search it. It'll say page, like it, group, join it. We are on all third-party podcast applications. So search AEW Uncensored Podcast and we will pop up. Subscribe, please. We are also on iHeart Radio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Deezer, Google Podcasts, and of course iTunes, which is one of the biggest, along with Google. So with iTunes, please rate us, subscribe, write a review. That gets shown across all different platforms, all the reviews and stuff. So that's the best place to do all of that. That helps us out immensely. Also, join us on Skype, The link is in the description of the podcast and the current live videos or any of our videos on YouTube. We always have the link in the description. So click it, send me a message. We'll throw you in the Uncensored Family chat. And from there, we will have you join the show if you want to call in at any time. So that's the best way to get on the show with us, which is, again, we've said this since episode 1. That's the goal, to start having more call-in stuff. And the more we have live listeners, the more that'll happen. So, but that's pretty much it for the promotional shit. Again, smash the subscribe and like button, and hit the bell. The bell's important.
Absolutely.
Then you'll know we're coming on. But okay, so let's get to Impact Wrestling.
Oof.
All right, you're crying about everything lately, bro. I'm about to fucking get you I'm a Cornette guy shirt.
Well, actually, that would be pretty funny if I wore that on an everyday basis. Oh, I need to do that. What's the Botchamania thing that he does? He went. I forgot how he does it. It probably come off really bad on camera.
I was really thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I got to get this guy a fucking I'm a Cornette guy, or just a shirt with Cornette on it or something.
Here's the thing with Impact. Impact, there's a reason why it's doing pretty poorly. It's doing pretty poorly because, we kind of had to watch the show for the purposes of seeing this crossover with AEW. And overall, it's not a great show. It's just really
I agree with you that the Impact show wasn't great. What up, Kenny? Kenny's in the house. Shake and Bake is back together, baby. Woo! I still don't know which one is Shake and which one is Bake.
We need to get that, because we need to get one the shirt that says Shake and the other one the shirt that says Bake, and then we need them like pounced together or something. I don't know. It's
yeah.
But yeah,
thing one and thing two.
Now, Impact did its job. It got people to come watch it because yes, you had Kenny Omega on with Callis, and it was a very interesting segment to see, and we'll break it down. But at the end of the day, it really was something that I feel was not very necessary because of the fact that they kind of redid this segment, but with a helicopter to make it cooler on AEW on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like when you're reading a comic book and you're reading The Amazing Spider-Man and read the next issue of Captain America to see this continued, and then you read it, and then you go back to Amazing Spider-Man, and they just repeat what they did in Captain America. It's like, why'd I have to go read Captain America? It was the same exact thing, only it was better. So I guess it remains to be seen whether or not they're going to be duplicating that every week, or are they really going to be putting on unique, exclusive content? Just my overall thoughts of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be unique from time to time. I actually want to touch base on that at the end of this Impact information here. I seen that they did something last night with Kenny, and I didn't watch it. I should have, but I didn't. So, okay. Now, I could have just watched the shoulder content of Impact, for AEW. However, you wouldn't even have known about some of the shit if I hadn't told you about it.
That's right.
By watching the whole thing. So, of course, I could have went and looked up the Kenny Omega interview with Don Callis. But there was also the Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone paid advertisement during the show, as well as something else. So they have the paid advertisement. It's very old school looking, mid-Atlantic style, early mid-Atlantic shit. And he says he's allowing basically Tony Khan says he's allowing Omega to appear, even though it's his right to stop him, and as a breach of contract. He said instead he figures he'll buy some advertising to help fund the show by buying an ad, and that'll help the bottom line of Impact. So, he's a little heelish there.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I like it. I liked it. I like the fact that it's heelish. But where's he going? Because Kenny's the heel. He's supposed to be the he's not. I don't know, but I liked it regardless. He says it's only going to help promote AEW to have their champ on Impact. So he welcomes Don Callis at Dynamite. for the next night. You know, he says, "Hey, you're welcome to come with Kenny," and he tells Kenny, "I know how you're arriving to the arena tomorrow for Dynamite because I'm the one who set it up for you." So throws a little shade there as well. You know, he said, "I set it up," so you know, a little bit of shade. He then obviously goes on to plug Dynamite for the next day. Then he says the Bucks are the best tag team, and Impact has some decent tag teams, and maybe he'll check them out. He has some investments in Nashville, and he says rumors are he might just buy Impact. And you know, he says, Tony Schiavone, didn't you have a cup of coffee in Impact? And he goes, yeah, I was there one day and I quit the business for 18 years, which is a nice little dig at, you know, again, it was a little heelish. It was upbeat. It was upbeat, but heelish. So I really liked it. The thing that I wanted to point out was after people seen this, you should have the fucking amount of marks that were like, Tony Khan's buying Impact. I swear to God, dude. I just want to fucking slap like, I literally don't understand wrestling fans. It's like they literally have no brain. They have no brain. They have no common sense. They have no thought process. They have nothing no critical thinking whatsoever. Listen, I'm generalizing, but I mean, even wrestling fans that have all that can be honest that like it looks like about 80% of wrestling fans do not have this. Okay. Yeah. So, and I've always felt this way since fucking since the internet, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fucking a little weird, man. You know, sometimes it's like, listen to what the fuck they're saying. Don't just assume shit. You know, and everybody does. I mean, there's times you do, but there's just it seems like wrestling fans always get duped to death. And hey, man, maybe that's why wrestling still is fucking, you know, it's still real to me, man. You know, like maybe that's why the shit really works, because there are people just that fucking out of their mind that they just literally believe everything that's fucking said.
Well,
and the problem is he didn't even say it. I mean, he didn't even he just said, maybe I'll buy Impact. Right. He didn't say I'm buying Impact, you know? They just fucking listen to the one word and that's it.
Yeah, the internet wrestling community, or the IWC as it's been notoriously called, has been in the shitter for a very, very, you know, long time. Like you said, since the birth of the internet. There are shows, certainly Solid Monster and other shows, that actually, you know, devote parts of their broadcasts to going through the internet from the early 90s and reading posts from the IWC. And there's always been that mentality of taking everything literally, taking nothing with a grain of salt, and just exploding and flabbergasting. And unfortunately now with social media, it's basically taken the original IWC and put it on steroids. And that's where we are today.
Dude, and I mean, you know, like before we even started this podcast, you know, I have the bit I want to do with the shit wrestling fans say.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll get to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm being a little lazy in keeping up and trying to screen grab some of this stuff, but I actually had a couple this week that I screen grabbed. I won't run them. I won't run with them just because we don't have that segment. We haven't talked about actually moving forward with it, but right. You know, that's since before we even started the podcast. I've had that idea, because it's like some of the shit I read, I'm just like palm and face. Yeah. Just forget it.
Yeah.
I'm looking like Picard over here, you know. Kenny says, Jimmy says we're Axis of Evil. The Axis of Evil heels now that Simon is here too. Kenny says TK is burying Impact on their own show. That's my boy. And Jimmy says, I've got German investors ready to buy this show. AEW Uncensored Podcast to Germany confirmed. You son of a bitches. You son of a bitches. They're selling the show out from under us. But okay, yeah, I mean, enough waxing on it. I mean, real quick, you know, we had spoke. Remember Kenny did I want to say it was during the tournament or before the tournament, where Kenny was with Tony in somebody's house, right?
Yes.
And we were like, who's the fucking picture of the guy with the wrestler? And then whose wedding was that? Bro, it all came together for me during during the Omega and Don Callis promo in the trailer, in the motorhome.
Right.
That was the picture of the Golden Sheik, Kenny's uncle, with Don Callis as a wrestler.
Aha.
So,
All right.
he was probably at Don Callis's house. So, you remember he said, it's not my house, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah.
Yes.
And I on the show, we were like, I'm not sure whose fucking house it was or who the pictures were. I was trying to figure it out. It wasn't familiar to me. And I guess if you look at Callis in the picture and you are thinking Callis, you would maybe put two and two together quicker. And obviously the wedding picture was a little far, but I'm guessing maybe Kenny was there. I'd have to go back and look at that, but that was a nice little subtle, like, Easter egg, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't tell you directly, but if you were slick enough, you caught it. But I don't know how. I mean, maybe they were trying to be a little too cute, which, you know, I'm not so up on everything. You know, I didn't really know Don Callis until the Dynamite appearance, I guess. I really didn't know. I've heard the name, but I don't know the face at all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, I didn't know what he looked like. So maybe if I knew what he looked like, I would have put two and two together with the picture if I had, you know, realized what I was supposed to be looking at. But maybe they tried to be a little too cute with it.
Well, at least we get a little bit of a nice, cute continuity in there. So I'm all for that.
Yeah, it was sneaky. I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that the light bulb went on in my head after I realized when they had it in the RV.
Yeah.
I said motorhome. I was trying. It's funny because I was taking notes. I'm like, motorhome's an old school term.
Yeah, I thought of it as a motorhome as well, though.
Right, but RV is like the most. But it's funny because I watch YouTube religiously now that it's on my television with people who live in like vans and RVs and shit like that. Like I have this obsession with that. So it's funny that I couldn't even come up with RV. My brain was just not working. Yeah, so anyway, so we go we get Omega and Callis on Impact. He you know, what's the guy's name? What's the interviewer's name? I don't know his name. People say Josh something.
Josh Matthews.
Okay. So he goes to shake Omega's hand and Omega just nonchalantly ignores it, which was fucking great. Great heel shit. I enjoyed that. They changed it. They decide they're going to change the nameplate right there from Jon Moxley to Kenny Omega.
Yep.
Kenny tosses Moxley's nameplate over across the room. I love the story that they're playing here, where they've been building this for 3 years. I was the architect of Omega versus Jericho. I'm the reason why AEW is, because Tony Khan has said it, XYZ. I really enjoy that. I think it's very good story.
Yes. It's
very good storytelling, and I don't know. I just love it. For me, this is one of the most intriguing stories so far.
Yeah. It lends
how they're laying it out.
Right. It lends weight to the story. It lends weight to the title. They're basically saying that this has been going back 3 years, and it's it's a nice way to bring anyone back in who may have necessarily dipped out or who didn't really know where this whole thing was going to be going, and it just the best way I could speak to it is that it led weight. So I liked it for that reason. Yeah.
I felt like, we were very wishy-washy on the Omega slow build to the heel change.
Yeah.
I think you agree with me. From our conversations, you were kind of on the same wavelength with me, where at times it was good, at times it was just like, at other times it was like, okay, Kenny beats up Marco, but then he doesn't do anything heelish for
Yeah.
a month. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't
So
put
it
their
was
foot in the
very
gas.
right. It's very weird. And now it's like boom, it's fucking full throttle. You
Yep.
know, hit pedal to the metal, and we're out. Oh shit! Shout out to Anthony. Anthony hasn't been here in a
What's
minute,
up,
bro.
Anthony? Yeah.
I know Anthony's been uprooted a little bit, so we'll give him a pass. What's going on, brother? You know, Anthony joined us on one of our shows, and he was set to join us on another, but we were having technical difficulties that we eventually figured out, Anthony. So of course we'll have you back. But yeah, so it's really nice to see this. It's really nice to see how the story's going. I think fucking Callis in the mix is amazing. You know, I think he's really, you know, I like what he's doing. I like how he's playing it. I fucking, you want to feel the guy and what the fuck he's saying. You know, I'm feeling it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, he's a good character. He's playing it up well. He makes for a very good, I guess, manager, so to speak, for Omega, which kind of is what he is. And it's unique that, you know, he's his manager, but he also runs his other promotion. So
Right.
there are definitely some interesting entanglements that can occur from that.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Spartan Puma? How are you, brother? Is that Alex? Is that you, Alex? Changing up your name and shit, or no? Let us know. Yeah, it's. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I literally had what you said, and I just lost it. All right, so that's what I was gonna say. I like the fact that he's great in that role as a manager, but they're allowing Kenny to speak as well.
Yes.
I like that AEW doesn't just, it's not just Bobby Heenan speaking for 5 guys in the family, the Heenan family. It's Jake Roberts speaking, but allowing Archer to speak as well.
Yeah.
And same with Callis and Omega. And, I like that. I like that these talents don't just get shoehorned into having to shut up and not be able to try to build their own characters, while the managers do all the work for them verbally,
right.
And they do the ring work. So I like that. I like that aspect. I thought Omega took control of the narrative early from his perspective in this interview. He took control of it, how if someone had attacked your father or your father figure in front of you, and there was that weapon right there, would you just look the other way, or would you use that weapon and strike back? I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, very fucking astute and good writing or thought process, whoever came up with it. Even if Kenny didn't come up with it, I felt he delivered it well. And Kenny's he's a little odd when he does interviews, and at times he's a little more odd than others. I felt he came across mostly well in this interview. Little like loopy at times, but not in this moment. I thought in this moment it was just brilliant. I thought it was brilliant and brilliantly done. So then he flows into being the greatest in the world. Of course, he starts talking about that, and talks about how he was a collector as a kid with comic books, and it's harder to collect all the best books, and now he's an adult, and now he's got the AAA mega title, he's got the AEW world title, and he might just go around collecting belts, as is the hint, basically.
Right.
So right. I'm really fucking enjoying that. I like that aspect, and the fact that there's a couple titles that I could see that might be able to be put on him, which we'll talk about one in a second. I think that would be fucking awesome for Kenny to have like 3 or 4 world maybe even 4 or 5 world championships from some of the top promotions in the business.
Yeah.
Behind AEW and WWF. So that would be pretty fucking cool to me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we were
And it's
saying
like that.
offline.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, actually, you were just about to say, we were saying offline. It's like he's
Yeah.
kind of like Thanos of the wrestling world. We can call this
Right.
the Omega
Collecting.
Quest.
Yeah. He's like Thanos collecting the gems. You know? So, let's see what the chat says real quick before we move on. We got. Okay, yeah. So that is Alex. What's up, Alex? And Anthony says Kenny AEW Women's Champ. Oh my god.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be fucking great. I know he wants to do that intergender shit.
Yeah.
Bad. That would be funny though. During this promo, the last thing I have on it is they do play up the old Lex Express gimmick, you know,
Yes.
the RV. Hint that what we'll find out later on Dynamite the next day, which is the helicopter, and that's how Luger showed up in the helicopter to the Body Slam Challenge against Yokozuna in New York in the USS Intrepid, so just playing up some stuff. I mean, taking some things from the past and using it. The final thing about Impact that we can talk about, which I said, there's a couple titles out there that can maybe see him getting. The Impact World title, obviously, which is held by Rich Swann. Mm-hmm. So you have a segment in Impact where Rich Swann is trying to go to a certain part of the building or something, or get out a certain way, and the security won't let him. And now he's the the Impact World Champion. And they won't let him go out this specific door. Why? Because the AEW World Champion is in that area and it's restricted.
Right.
So it's almost like big dogging Impact yet again on Impact, which is a good I liked it because it allows the beginning of the world champ scenario. I hope they don't do some double count out fuckery or something if this ever comes to fruition. And hopefully this will last a little while. Again, people go, what is Impact have that AEW could use? Well, their world title for one.
That pretty much it, yeah.
Right. But no, I mean, they have the North, right? Or those guys, the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I guess so.
They have them.
Yeah.
They have the Good Brother. They have the Good Brothers. The Bullet Club. Boom. You know what I mean? So there's an opportunity there. While it may not help them in their numbers on Dynamite, it will help them story-wise.
Yes.
To help their numbers on Dynamite, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I look forward to that. Right. I look forward to that. The thing that happened, I seen it. Okay, I swear I should have watched it. It was probably short. There was Kenny Omega defended his title against Laredo Kid at Triple Mania, which is AAA's WrestleMania basically.
Right.
Since forever. I can't even remember how long. At least the beginning of the 90s, maybe even late 80s, maybe even longer, but I remember it as far back as that. There was it Laredo Kid, right?
Yes.
I believe so he retained the title. I didn't watch the match, I'm going to be honest with you. He then TNA had a pay-per-view, I guess. I don't know what it was called. But during that, one of the Good Brothers, what's their names? I forget their fucking names. But
I do
one
too.
One of them shows up in Kenny's RV, and they sit down and catch up. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I apologize. I didn't pass it on to Alan either. So I'm gonna have to go watch that and just get a feel for it. Maybe we'll discuss it. Maybe we won't next week. But just interesting because it just puts another little wrinkle in the game there.
Yes.
Especially with the history they have. So again, Tony also said during that paid advertising that they got some good tag teams, and we mentioned that. So.
Yeah. So we're probably looking at a multi-month crossover of sorts. Maybe they'll even combine their pay-per-view at one point. That would be interesting to see if they do end up doing something like that. And you could even do some kind of an invasion angle, I guess, circa 2001, when all the dregs from WCW, since all the good guys were under contract, actually came into WWE. You could have something like that here as well. So there's definitely some possibilities with it. It's most certainly going to impact, pun intended, impact more. I think at this point they'll impact AEW just because they desperately need the rub for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Gallows and Anderson. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
I've heard their name for the last 5 years and for some reason it wasn't coming to me.
Yeah.
So what was your take on that whole sit down promo? I kind of just ran through it.
Yeah, it was good.
You have any particular opinions on it?
I mean, it's hard considering I kind of feel like I'm backtracking because of the fact that we then saw the promo again the following night, but trying to think about seeing it for the first time here, it did what it needed to do. It basically opened up a lot of possibilities for what Omega could do. It established him as a good heel. It established Callis as a good manager. And it really, it gave a little bit of nuggets of hints toward the future, with what they could possibly do with him. And then, of course,
right.
you had what happened later on in the program, which kind of cemented it as well. So for what it was, it did what it needed to do. I would like to see him in the ring. What's that?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you like what Kenny said?
Yeah.
Like, did you like his presentation?
Presentation was very good, and Omega is somebody who definitely over the last couple of years definitely has needed a bit more work behind the mic. His whole thing has always been his ring work more than anything else. But he seems to be taking to this role, like a fish to water, and it is nice to finally see him firmly in that heel persona.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're pretty close on the same page, if not on the same page.
Yeah.
I like that synergy.
There you go.
Which is something I will use shortly when we talk dark. It's funny that must be why that came into my head, the synergy thing.
Right.
Because I just watched Dark before the show, actually. So Dark, I have two things to talk about. Do you have more or any at all?
The only thing I really have is the Britt Baker segment, which again, it seems to be the only segment worth watching on this show. I mean, don't get me wrong, a couple of matches. But yeah, my biggest thing to speak to was the Britt Baker segment for sure.
Go ahead, take it away. I got a little bit on that as well, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we got the waiting room back, which is great because I know we were saying that last week we were a little bit worried that it might have been taken down because there was no.
Right, which is weird.
It's really
I don't know
weird.
why they didn't have it last week.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah, because if this is in fact going to be again an exclusive thing for Dark, it's great. But yeah, it's weird that it was off. So they bring out Dustin Rhodes, which is a nice surprise, I thought. Before that happened, though, you had Baker thanking Sting for helping out Tony Schiavone be more relevant, lifting a weight off her shoulders.
That was
cool.
That was funny.
Was a good line.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And if Baker said Sting would be a guest on the show, that will be something to look forward to. If we actually get that,
I would.
Yeah, that would be something to really look forward to if they can get Sting on there.
That would be fun. That'd be fun.
And of course, Baker said Thunder Rosa doesn't belong in AEW, so she's going at her for running in.
I forget what she said, but she said like half her something about her half of her face being ugly or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot the exact words, but yeah.
It was funny. Yeah,
it was good heelish stuff. So Dustin Rhodes came in, and I liked that Britt Baker was hyping up the new Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes action figures. That was pretty cool.
The Blood and Guts 2-pack.
And she was questioning pretty much what we were talking about too, that Cody, makes more than Dustin. Dustin says he pays more quarterly taxes than she does in dentistry, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
and talking about the size difference between the two. And we were talking about that too, that the scale looked a
Right,
little
the
bit off.
figures.
So
Yeah.
it was interesting that
Usually,
they brought that.
yeah, usually we'll talk about the action figures here because we are toy collectors,
Yes.
and I had already brought the fucking thing to the basement, and I forgot to bring it up for the show, so it just kind of went that week, and I forgot the following week, so we never even really discussed it, but yeah, like we had discussed privately, the height difference, yeah, it was I mean, if it was a little more, the gap was a little closer, it would have been probably right, but I think it's just a tad too off.
Yes,
height wise.
sure.
Cody's very short, and Dustin towers over him, the action figure. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I also did like that. After she basically got on Dustin, he asked her if her boyfriend won match of the year.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Her face was pretty funny when he said that.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I mean, Dustin spent the rest of the talk really just previewing his match against 10 on Dynamite. It was a great overall segment. The only thing I didn't like about it, and it seems to be the case, and I'm wondering if this is just a trolling thing that they're doing where each segment is ending stupid. It's like they have a really good rapport with, they bring a guest on, they have a conversation, it gets really fun. And then all of a sudden, something stupid happens at the end. In this case, it's Marco Stunt closing up the segment like it's the fucking David Letterman show. And it was just weird. And then you saw Dustin in the background a little bit, and then he just walks right off. It was just very, very odd the way they closed it out. It was very silly. And again, it felt very much like one of those, like either David Letterman or Jay Leno, like one of those, late 90s talk shows where at the end, okay, let's bring out blah, blah, blah. And they come out and they do this song. It was just weird. I don't know.
So I got to take you to task on this because you did cry about this. I will say cry. You were being cornettish about fucking Marco and coming out randomly singing.
Marco Stunt going out there, man, and go ahead.
You did give a little cornet action behind the scenes where you were like well, he just randomly shows up and I'm like, really? Okay, that's weird, you did say randomly. If I have to go back in the chat, I will, but you made it seem like it was random as fuck. So before the segment when they posted, waiting room, special guest, he was on there as a musical act, and so it wasn't random.
You're right.
It wasn't random. Okay, I'm just saying.
You're right.
It wasn't random.
I will absolutely be taking a chance for that. I had missed. Now again.
Okay. You fast forward, I'm sure.
No, it's not that. To my chagrin,
you weren't watching.
I watch Dark while I'm working.
While you're working, right? So you weren't looking.
I watch it live, so it goes on at like 7:00 on Tuesday, and I'm still working, and I actually do watch it live. I had missed that it was listed. So
okay.
I will backtrack and say that part was pretty clever. That they actually had him as a musical again, and I guess maybe that's what they were trying to do, is that they were trying to troll like what how those acts used to close out, but it was just weird. I don't know.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
While you were ripping it to shit, that's exactly what they're doing. David Letterman, Jay Leno, Tonight Show, whatever. The whole goal of that show, I don't know how you missed this from the first show on. The opening monologue with Britt doing her jokes, then the sit-down interview, and then the ending act. Now, what was it? 2 weeks ago with the Acclaim where they just randomly showed up.
Yes, they did.
That was annoying. That was annoying. Yeah. If they had made that a musical guest or a special act, it would have made sense. Now I think they've realized that they can't, like, it just can't be a fucking clusterfuck like that, because that was maybe that's why they took a week break, because they wanted to fucking break it down. Yeah, so right there. I loved it. I fucking loved it. I loved how it went from the opening monologue to Dustin to the closing musical artist. Okay. And shout out to Marco Stunt. You did a very good job, brother. I'm not a big fan of you wrestling bigger dudes or holding back my boy Jungle Boy, but shout out to you. You're pretty damn good at singing, I guess. I won't say that I know that type of music very well to say that the voice was great, but I wasn't like, ooh, at any point where I thought the singing was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shout out to him. I got no issue with Marco. I like Marco. You know, he seems like a cool dude. So, but yeah, I had to take it. I knew as you're talking, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking run this dude down, bro. I was gonna fucking body slam your ass, especially after that. Especially after I'm watching and clearly they go and musical guest Marco Stunt. I
And
go, this motherfucker said. I said, this motherfucker said if Marco randomly just popped up. I thought Marco ran onto the stage and just started fucking strumming the fucking guitar, singing. Something like that.
That would have been
you know?
funny if that took place, I guess. It was just silly. But
well, that would have been annoying.
If that's what they're going for, and that will be how they thematically present these each week, then okay. Let's see who
the best thing is
there each time.
The best thing is how you're literally describing it, how they are doing it. You're like, yeah, it's like they're trying to do like the late night show with David Letterman. I'm like, I'm sitting here laughing to myself, like, I can't wait to fucking rebut this guy. Because that's the whole fucking goal. That's exactly what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love it, bro. I fucking love it.
Jimmy does say here. Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy should fucking he should remember that when you dogged you said for gospel
Yeah, we were in the chat.
You know, so he just randomly popped up.
He said,
all right, anyway, let's check. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, he says that my jacket and I look like a younger, more dapper corny. That's pretty funny. It's actually not a jacket, it's just a shirt, but it's cold in here.
That's funny. Paul Pallone, what's up, Paul? Good to see you again,
Paul?
brother. He says Omega versus Laredo Kid from AAA last night was a fantastic match. Cool. Yeah, I'll probably go back and watch it.
We'll have to see it. Yeah.
Sometime during this week. And you just said what Jimmy said, and then Jimmy says boo Britt Baker. Why boo Britt Baker, man?
Yeah, I mean she's the only reason I want to watch Dark anymore, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't understand that, bro.
But did you have something else on Dark you want to talk about?
I have one more thing. There was not much I want, I caught up today, so 2 hours, 10 minutes, mostly fast forwarding. I did see the Acclaimed were wrestling, so I definitely enjoyed their entrances.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that, and it was probably his best rap yet, and the last line was great. Because he says we bring drama on TNT or something like that, and he goes, and as he's getting in the ring, he goes, corporate symmetry. So I thought it was funny that the whole corporate symmetry, or synergy, sorry, and that's kind of when I said synergy earlier. Probably where it came from. So, but yeah, I thought it was funny. One thing, I thought it was probably his best one yet. The one thing he didn't touch on, which had tons of potential, was Nakazawa. Because they were wrestling Nakazawa and some other guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't touch on Nakazawa at all. And I was like, oh, okay, there was a lot there that you could have. But
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it was great. I kind of let it keep going while I was taking notes. And I look up and you see Nakazawa he's hiding the oil in the turnbuckle, and he's got this fucking maniacal look at one point, and and the announcers were hamming it up about it. I thought it was funny. I'm not a big fan of the oil shit. I kind of enjoy the thong thing he does with the thong and shit. I kind of like that. I think it's funny. In a good way. I'm not a fan of the oil thing, but I thought that was funny as fuck when he's trying to hide the oil in the turnbuckle, and the announcers just killed it on that too. They were fucking making me die laughing as well.
Yeah.
So it was fun, but yeah, that was about it for Dark for me.
All right.
So on to Dynamite, man.
Yeah.
Set us off, bro. Set us off.
So we do get. Well, we start off with your favorite Dasha backstage with Matt and Nick Jackson.
Yummy.
And Young Bucks are saying they haven't seen or talked to Kenny Omega since he won the title, and they don't know what's going on with him. So that's a little interesting that they're putting that they're starting off with that right off the bat, putting them at odds. And then we do get the Young Bucks versus the Hybrid 2 and a non-title match. It wasn't bad. Pretty decent match. Not much else to really say about it, but Young Bucks did win via pinfall. And it was actually a match where we finally, it didn't feel like it was one of those traditional tag team matches for AEW where it's just shit's going on everywhere outside the ring and whatnot. It was just a good tag team match. Best thing I can say about it.
Yeah, I felt it was too fast paced because it felt like sometimes things looked way too set up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys waiting, guys looking at each other, guys standing there, just ready to take a move. But it was a good match in general. But there were some times where I felt like they were doing too much, so people had to wait and prep themselves or make sure everything was prepped so they didn't fuck it up, that type of deal. But yeah, it was a great match in general. You get the Acclaim try to, they go to make the run in, and before they could even get to the ring, SCU basically comes out and holds them off. So,
yeah. So
that's like interesting,
I'm glad they wait till after the match to do that. Like you kind of would have expected that would have happened during the match. The fact that they let the match conclude first was pretty good.
Yeah. It kind of opens up a little bit of they can play with the Bucks a little bit and play with SCU. SCU could be the more heavy feud, maybe not feud, but like the more heavier storyline with them since they technically aren't world title worthy at this point, but the Bucks could play with them like they did TH2. Give them the match, or like they did the two brothers.
Yeah,
I forget what their name is, but so it gives a little
high velocity, high. I keep forgetting these names.
So it's good because it gives them a chance to work with SCU, which is a veteran team.
Yes,
and they could also work the Bucks, maybe for just like a match. Especially since they confronted them, you got to figure they're going to work the Bucks at some point.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe
for sure.
Maybe they have to beat SCU to work the Bucks. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's what the Bucks will say. Yeah. Something like that. You got to beat the former champs to wrestle the new champs. Blah blah blah. But I really enjoyed their interaction last week.
Yeah.
The Bucks and Caster and what's his name?
Oh, who is the other one?
Yeah, I owe Anthony Bowens. I always I always forget his name.
Yeah.
So then we get an MJF promo about Orange and their upcoming match. Pretty much whatever. I don't know if you have anything special on that.
No, they were just saying he's gonna hurt. I like the way he keeps bringing up Smarks. He goes, "I'm gonna hurt Orange Cassidy and break a lot of Smarks' hearts." Smark Marks hearts, and that was it's a little silly. They call him Smark Marks because it's really just Smarks. That's the whole point, and I think he's doing a bit there. But
yeah. So then we get a Darby vignette, and he's doing an ink blot test in a room, and he's actually doing a little talking in this one, which is good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
He reads them off, and the last one obviously is Sting, and he looks at it and just laughs, which, I'm interested to see how that's going to flow and where it's going. We'll get to that again a little bit, little more touching on that shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Very shortly, like right
now.
What was your take on that vignette? Did you like it?
It was interesting. Yeah. And it's funny too because it really. It's interesting that they're trying to set these two up together because I think we mentioned this last week that if you look at Darby Allin with how he's been performing, he kind of acts like a younger 90s era Sting, from back in the Crow days. And and again, we will talk about that with what's coming up here, where basically he's kind of almost in the rafters.
You mean late 90s?
What did I say?
Early 90s.
Late 90s, yes. Yes. 97-ish it started, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, and then we so we get Cody again in his suit executive role.
Coming out to promo.
And he's out there with Arn Anderson and Tony Schiavone. And so that was pretty cool to just see them together. And I did like how so Tony's asking Cody about Sting coming to the ring. And before Cody could say anything, the new music hits. Again, great theme. I really do like that theme.
It is good.
It grows on you very, very well. They did a great production job with the specific theme. And
I love that snow. I hope they keep that snow going.
It's really cool. It really is. It's really, really cool. They do a good job with it.
Yeah, I'm shocked how good it looks. You know, usually something like that's either too big or too much or too little. You know, I think it's literally very small flakes and they're coming down pretty steady. They actually sit on them too. You know, so you could. Yeah. It looks like it's actually building up. So it's pretty cool. I really like it.
Yeah, they do a good job with it. They do a very good production job with him. And this is a cool moment. You know, Arn's getting on the microphone. He says he had to get a little closer. He wants to make sure this is real. And so the two of them talking together was pretty cool. That obviously brings back some vibes. And he says he knows that both guys, being Cody and Sting, have an agenda, and he just leaves the ring. And Tony says... Tony is offered up the microphone, says who he is to stay in the ring, and Sting tells him he wants a hug.
Right.
No social distancing here.
Tony was about to beat feet, and Sting's like, "Fuck no, brother, get in here."
Yeah.
You know, so I like that.
That was
great.
Cool.
It was good.
And then I'm sure you were. I don't even want to know what you were doing when you got, he's asking Tony to do one of those, it's Sting! And he does it.
Sting!
That was a cool segment, I have to say. That was very, very cool.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun, though. I like that little interaction.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
It's almost like it sucks that Sting kind of marked out right there. You know, he's like, "This is awesome." I didn't like that part.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed the. I enjoyed the whole Tony and him. I love that. That was fun. You know, like you said, Tony was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna leave it to you guys," and he's like, "Fuck no, get over here." So that was great.
I think.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of what you were seeing in the ring, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, was not staged at all. Sting is very, very happy to be there. He's obviously very happy to be with Tony, probably to be with Arn. Because obviously, because we know it's been reported that he really just did not like how he was treated by WWE. So he probably feels a lot more wanted here. And I felt like I liked a lot of what was coming from him because, yes, it was a little marking out and such, but I feel like it was very legit. He was just very, very elated to be there. The interaction with Cody was weird because Cody is thanking him for the assist, but he's also giving him the cold shoulder. And Sting says, "Well, I'm not really here for you. I'm here for this," and points up at Darby Allin again. So Darby Allin is sitting in the stands. It felt very Rafterish to me. Yeah,
I loved this part of the interview because Cody said, "I've been waiting he's been waiting forever to share the ring with Sting," and Sting's saying how this feels very familiar and stuff. He's like, things look very familiar, and he looks up in the rafters, and they pan to Darby. Now, Sting's here for another reason and mentioning total different things. Cody's trying to get Sting's attention. Sting is doing the big brothering where he's like, "I'm not here for you, Cody. Don't worry about it. I'm not here for you." And then he gets all patronizing and does the old hair tussle, basically. Yeah. Where he does the old slap on the back and says, "I'm not here for you." He grabs him by the shoulder and pulls him in, like when you big brother somebody. Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost like the old, like I said, the old hair tussle. So I loved it. I love the fucking shoe. You're not, I'm not here to fucking mess with you, Cody. obviously it's going to lead somewhere. I enjoyed that part. I liked seeing the pat on the head and move the fuck away from me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Basically
overall, it's a
big
very
league.
good segment. Yeah.
Yeah, just giving him the big league, you know?
Yeah. But yeah,
oh, that's right. He did. He says he said he'll get to him. You know, he's like, I'm not here for you,
yes.
but he's like, I'll get to you. You know, that was fun. That was
Yeah.
fun. I really liked that.
Yeah. It was probably my favorite segment of the show. It was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously are. They're opening up a lot of different possibilities of what they can end up doing with Sting.
Right. There's already right there two minimal possibilities.
Right
and that's
there
just,
in that shot. Yep.
That's just right. That's just a start. You know, that could even be one between the three. You know.
Sure.
So.
Absolutely.
You know. Do you have anything else on the segment? Because I want to go to the chat. If not,
no, go ahead.
Okay, so let's catch up on the chat a little. Paul says AEW has the best tag team division going now, and you add Top Flight and Acclaim to it. It's very impressive. 100%. 100%. I like both of those tag teams are a great addition. And now tonight we got the Varsity Blondes as well, which they've been on Dark for a while. That is Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. So add them to the mix too on the come up. Mm-hmm. Kenny says, I love Sting's WCW theme. I wonder why it hasn't been used since. Probably because WWF owns it.
I assume
they own it.
They have rights to that.
Yeah, I'm sure they own it since they bought out WCW's all the IP shit.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, Alan, how dare you mess up Sting's info in front of Bill? It was probably just a slip, you know. It was just probably he was just staying 90s and
yeah,
he, you know. And then Jimmy says Bill was marking out. You son of a bitch. Paul says the fact Cody thought Sting came to AEW for him, but Sting knocking that down and pointing to Darby was a nice touch. Yeah, it's exactly how I felt, Paul. I thought like I said, I love how he big brothered him. Just tussled the hair, did the whole pull in, pat on the back, grab him by the shoulder, pull in. You know, that was fucking fun. Let's see, Jimmy, the Rhodes versus Darby and Sting. LOL. Oh, I mean, could be. That'd be interesting. Dustin and Sting back together.
Yeah.
They were tight as thieves back in the early '90s together. Yeah. And what's up, New World?
What's up?
New World says, who was the best Sting feud ever? Big Van Vader. No question.
Over
fuck,
Flair?
Man, I blew that. Okay.
You of all people.
No, listen, I blew that. I answered too quick without thinking.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think deeper because I have a couple guys that I love that he feuded with. So take Flair out of the equation because let's be real. All right. And they obviously, for Sting's career, they obviously were oil and vinegar. You know, like they just went together. You know, so if you take it from Sting and
actually is not going together.
Well,
peanut butter and
I'm
jelly.
saying, but you use oil and vinegar together in salads and shit like that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's use your analogy. Peanut butter and jelly. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. It's the same thing. I mean, you're using peanut butter and jelly for a sandwich. They go together. Just like oil and vinegar goes with a salad, right? So, I know. I break your balls enough, so I get it. So for that period, I mean, literally, you're talking a decade, more than a decade. You're talking 12, just say 12 years, 13 years. They were basically a feud. No matter what, it always came back. There was a feud with them. Mm-hmm. So I won't consider them. I just can't. I will say, if you talk year-to-year feuds, Big Van Vader. No question about it. Those fucking matches were incredible. The fucking Vader was intense as shit. Obviously, everybody knows that. Yeah. I fucking loved them. I will say probably Rick Rude as well was a great feud for me with Sting. Rick Rude hates Sting's guts, or hated, whatever. I mean, he passed away, but he hated Sting's guts, probably because he blames him for the injury that he got. You know, so that's a shame because they had some great matches together. Let me think. I mean, I fucking hate Hulk Hogan, and I won't say they've really had too big of a feud, but the whole, if you want to construe 97 as a feud, I would say with NWO as a whole. I think I would say that. I don't know if you would say NWO as a whole as well.
I would probably, if you're bringing up that feud, it would be the NWO as a whole. I mean, it all culminated with Hogan, but the real feud really was with that entire group.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say in order, obviously Ric Flair. Then I would go Big Van Vader. Then I would go Rick Rude. Fuck, man. Maybe I can't order after Ric Flair. I would say okay. I would definitely say Vader because Vader. I was a kid. It was very emotional for me at the time because I was, like I said, I was a kid. Right. You believe it more. It feels more. You're not smartened up as much. Obviously, I knew it was fake, but you still were more emotional. Right. And while that was the same with Rude, I felt that was just the Rude versus Vader was a little different. Vader made you fucking like, holy shit. Rude and Sting just had great matches, I felt, and they really had a good rivalry. So I will say I'll put NWO and then Rude. Because that whole year with WCW in 97, with the build-up with Sting, he didn't do shit. He didn't have to do shit. Yeah. He just came down and like, I thought it was very, man, it's hard to describe what it was, so I will put it in that order. I'll go Flair, Vader, NWO, then Rick Rude.
Okay.
That was very long-winded. I apologize. I'm not very good at telling stories or getting thoughts out. Obviously, if you've listened to this podcast, you fucking know that. So that was about it. So let's go back to the chat real quick. And where were we? Okay, so Jimmy says it's peanut butter and jelly time. Jimmy also says, what's the feud with a certain tag partner versus the Road Warriors? Fuck, man.
You knew that better than me.
Man, what's that? Dusty? Fucking Dusty? When with the Road Warriors? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what year? Because, I mean, I think didn't him and Dusty team? I know Lex. I know he was with Lex for a long time. I mean, it depends on what year you're talking.
Yeah, you're definitely know better than me.
Yeah, mid to late 90s with the Road Warriors. Mid late 90s with the Road Warriors. I mean, trying to think, man. Now you got me thinking. Who would be? Oh, fuck! God damn it, New World! You beat me, bro. That's another. God, how did I forget this? Because this is what, like, when I was a tape trader, I made this. I made custom tapes of Sting versus Great Muta, Friend or Foe. That was the name of the tape I made. It was maybe a couple tapes. It wasn't a complete thing, but fuck, man, Great Muta. I kind of almost put, again, Muta in the Flair category. I'll put him before. Man, shit. Fuck. You guys are putting me on the spot, man. This is some shit I gotta think about. I'm not good at like favorites or bests, like I'm not good at doing that. I'm very like wishy-washy. Be it music or movies, it's hard for me to literally pinpoint this is the best, this is third, fourth, fifth.
It's a shame,
so
man.
I will put Sting versus Great Muta probably before Rude. Again, I think it was more of a Flair type thing where it lasted a long time, friend, foe, good, bad, but it also had it also wasn't like Vader to me, where I was like, oh my god. It was more like Rude in terms of where they were just always fun together. Whether they were together against each other, they always had good matches, and it was great. So, okay, so that was a fucking monkey wrench, New World. That was a really good fucking monkey wrench. It's funny that I didn't even click with me. Like I've said in the past, I was a big New Japan fan early on because of Muda and Liger. WCW had that working relationship with New Japan, so that's what made me a fan of these guys. So yeah, that was, oh man, I can't believe I missed that. So Jimmy says, what are you talking about? The early 90s, the early 80s, Jimmy. Jimmy, that was the mid 80s. If you're talking mid 80s, because I believe Sting started in 85 as the Blade Runners or Freedom Fighters with Jim Hellwig and a couple other guys, and he was the Blade Runners with Jim Hellwig, aka Ultimate Warrior. So if you're talking about Road Warriors versus Sting and Warrior, I mean, that's, to even say that that's like a feud, I don't think that was a feud. That was more just like, I don't even think, did they even fucking wrestle each other? They didn't even wrestle. I think people tried, they tried to make them Road Warrior-esque. So I don't know where you're going with that. The Blade Runners. Yeah, but I don't understand what you mean with the... No, I know the Blade Runners, Jimmy. You son of a bitch. He's heel turning on me, bro. We didn't even fucking, come on.
Well, he already did that last week, so.
Yeah, that's true. And you're wrong. It wasn't the early 80s. It was literally the mid 80s when they were the Blade Runners. I don't think the Freedom Fighters lasted long. I think it was a very short thing. I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were faces, and then they turned them heel. Probably in Mid-South. I think it was Mid-South. They started as Freedom Fighters, and obviously in Mid-South, they know what they're doing down there. And they said, you got to make these fucking big dudes heels. That's where they'll do best. Mm-hmm. So they made them heels. Then eventually they went to, not Mid-South, I'm sorry, Memphis. And then from Memphis, they went to Mid-South. My apologies. So, Jimmy, don't try to fucking outdo me here. And I'm trying to remember about them wrestling the Road Warriors. I won't say I know every match they've had as the Blade Runners, but I don't remember them wrestling the Road Warriors. I could be wrong. I'll have to go check it. Again, I don't know. I've seen a million matches. I don't fucking know. But you're pretty wrong too there, buddy. Early 80s bastard. So, anyway. Kenny says, Sting versus the NWO was my favorite feud of his Uncensored 97 with Scott Hall. Was probably the match that I've watched the most and loved it. I was really hoping for Scott Hall and Sting to feud when Scott Hall came in and they started the NWO angle. Mm-hmm. When Sting confronted whatever, I forget how it went, and he slaps, I think he slapped Sting or Sting slapped him. And that was like, to me, because, okay, you know me, I'm not a WWF guy, but I did enjoy a lot of guys from like kind of that time frame there. Razor, Perfect. So I was a fucking huge Razor mark. I loved it. I would watch WWF just to see him and Perfect,
Yeah.
And he like, I was like, when he came to WCW, it was it for me. I was like, fucking my two favorite guys in wrestling right now, like Sting was obviously way ahead, but to have both of those guys together, and it kind of didn't turn into anything, which disappointed me. But that was kind of the start of really Sting in the NWO, if you think about it. He was the first guy out there with Hall,
yep.
And he ends up the whole 97 run. So about a year and a half with the Sting and NWO technically. Sting kind of does the go away thing and, stuff like that. So it was fun. It was fun. That's all I could say. It was great to see him and Scott Hall get on it a little bit, but I wish they would have did more with it. That probably could have turned into one of my favorite feuds had they done like a good year-long feud or so.
For sure.
Man, we're in the fucking weeds now, man. These guys are really getting hard-hitting questions. Didn't they wrestle it was supposed to happen? Wait. So what the fuck? He's ripping me. Look at what Jimmy says in the chat. They didn't wrestle. It was supposed to happen, but couldn't get the NWA deal done. He goes, what about the feud with the certain tag partner versus the Road Warriors? That's making it like they had a fucking feud, Jimmy. Man, you pull Jimmy's card. Pull his AEW Uncensored family card. Shake is gone. Shake, you're getting your card pulled. I don't know where. Well, or Bake, whichever. Kenny, whatever one you ain't, we got to pull the other one's card.
So we're only going to have shaking, or we're going to have baking. And for our sake, I hope it's baking, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I ain't got to ask to shake. So, all right. So that was cool. That's cool to be in the weeds a little bit, especially since it's a topic I love. And it's funny that I can't believe New World hit me with that, bro. You really fucking. You slapped me in the face with that one, because I don't know how I forgot Muda. Like I said, I did custom videos about that shit back in the day, because I did tape trade, so that was one that I did. I did one with that Vader shit like that. All right, so back to the regular scheduled program. We get FTR versus Varsity Blondes. For me, I thought it was a good match, very good match. I was impressed by the Blondes. I haven't watched them on Dark. But it seems like they're both coming along pretty damn good.
Yeah, quick match, but it was good.
Yeah.
And then after the match, who was locking eyes with FTR?
Did I miss it? Go ahead,
I just want to know what you're going to call them.
Maybe I missed it.
Okay, it was Jurassic Express. I want to know what you were going to call them.
Oh, okay. You got me. I do remember that outside the ring, right?
Yes. I just want to know. I just want to know if you were gonna screw up and call them something else. That's all.
I almost put in my notes, but I didn't. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to fuck with them.
But yeah, and then Wheeler gave Jungle Boy a shove, backed away. Stunt wants to fight. He gets held back. So something to be going on there.
Great, Jungle Boy.
And then we
had Marco Stunt.
Earlier.
Real quick, he was acting like a fucking rabid dog, Marco Stunt, right?
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous.
Quite the turn.
We're gonna get him and the dinosaur versus fucking Luchasaurus versus FTR. No, Luchasaurus.
Oh, they were gonna say the Luchasaurus Express. Okay.
No, Luchasaurus versus FTR. Instead of getting Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, which Jungle Jim Perry, which he'll eventually be called. Real quick, Jimmy says Bill had the chain and toothpick running around Jersey saying, "Hey yo, did you have Hall's Jerry curl mullet too?" I wish I had curly hair, so I'll be honest there. I did say "Hey yo" a lot. Hey yo.
That used to be the name. It would be my fuck.
What's that?
That used to be the name of our chat with Eddie.
That's right. Hey yo. Yep, you're right. Hangman promo next, right?
Yep. We had Alex Barbez talk with Hangman Page. This took place earlier in the day about having a match against Private Party and Matt Hardy at a 6-man tag match. And Barbez basically said that Page is to have Eddie tag partners at the moment, though, and Alex Reynolds and John Silver pop up from behind the bar.
Pop up from behind the bar.
And
that was
Page
funny.
Passes, but then decides to tag with them, but he's not joining.
Reluctantly accepts.
Yes.
But he's not joining the Dark Order.
So we'll see where this goes.
That was good. I'm curious where it goes, and we'll get to a little more Dio in this coming match. We get 10 versus Dustin Rhodes.
Yep.
Good match. Obviously, both guys did well. Not much to say about it. Dark Order comes out. Uno's on the mic, offers Dustin a spot as, drum roll please,
7.
Number 7. I don't know if you know the significance of the number 7.
I do.
Okay. So, which is fucking hilarious, because for those that don't know, Dustin Rhodes had a gimmick in WCW in the late 90s after he left. Was it the 2000s, actually?
It was the early 2000s. I think it was after he left.
Early 2000s.
Yes.
I think it was like January-ish 2001.
Something
2001.
like that. Yeah.
So WCW, something like that. WCW is damn near close to being sold.
Yes.
He came on in a white face paint, like his whole head was white. He had a big black hat, a black duster, did a promo. This was after he left WWF for a bit, and he. I don't know. I don't remember the vignette, but apparently there was a vignette where he was looking in some kid's window, and it seemed a little creepy. And I guess TNT was like, "Nah, we're done with this." And then he came out and shit on the gimmick and did a little shoot, which I'm sure they planned.
Yeah.
But just to kill the gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being there after that, honestly.
No, I think that was it. After that happened, he was gone.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I think that was pretty much like he came in for a few promos as Seven, and that was
and
it.
And he basically said, yeah, well, he was knocking himself. He would say he looked like Uncle Fester, and he really did. He looked like Uncle Fester.
He did. He fucking did, too. Yeah, like, I think that was after, from what I understand, TNT was not having that anymore. I heard someone say this week that actually the kid in the vignette or promo or whatever where he's looking in the window was actually Cody Rhodes. So I'll have to go look it up and check it out.
Yeah.
The kid they used was Cody. So it was funny. It was just a nice, funny shot. It looks like Dark Order's back out there recruiting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we'll see where they go with it.
He basically, I mean, what did he say? He basically tells Dustin, what do you got to lose? You're the third best. You're third best Rhodes on the show, and third most important, I should say. My apologies. So that was fun. Interesting for sure.
Yes.
All right, here we go. So we get Shaq sit down.
Wow.
Now, isn't it interesting that all the promos leading up to this were just about Shaq sitting down with Tony Schiavone and having a conversation?
Yep.
Oddly enough, we start the segment, and guess who else is sitting across from Shaq? Our favorite flip-flopper, our favorite gimmick infringer, our favorite person who can't throw shit to the wall and make it stick, a.k.a. Brandy fucking Rhodes.
The originator of the Wall of Molasses.
The Wall of Molasses. Brandy Rhodes, old time molasses. Okay. You know why they didn't fucking put her on as part of this? Because they knew it wouldn't draw what they want if they did.
Yeah.
You know that, right? You know that,
For
right?
Sure.
They knew Shaq's name would bring something. But if they put Brandy's name there too, people would be like, what the fuck? And they wouldn't fucking tune in.
Ayo.
I've seen two different numbers. I've seen that this was the biggest rating on the show. And I've also seen that Sting segment was the biggest rating on the show. I don't know which one is true. Meltzer said Shaq, and some other rating thing had shown Sting, then Shaq. And they were both very close. So I will say that. So it was 1 or 2 in terms of ratings on the show. If you knew Brandy was going to be there, it probably would have been 25th of the show.
Easily.
So here we get Shaq kind of teetering on the heel roll. He says, him and Cody on Twitter, just fun. He likes Cody. He got nothing against Cody. He didn't like seeing what Jay did to Brandy. So he's kind of he's in between. He's trying to be a not so bad guy.
Yeah.
Then Brandy's all pissed off that Schiavone doesn't give her the accolades. Like he ran down Shaq's accolades, all that, and she starts. She starts like the whole interview felt more her healing it up,
It did, which is
like her
a problem.
bitching.
Yeah.
Right, her bitching, and then her having an attitude and being really bitchy, and she's leaving, and he says, maybe you should watch Jade. You could learn something, And Schiavone had a glass of water in his hand. She grabs it and fucking throws it at Shaq. Shaq's face, because they ended on Shaq's face, he stoically just sat there with the same expression till they went off camera, and it was fucking hilarious. The face was priceless, man. I loved it. I thought he sold it well.
Yeah.
But it didn't, it wasn't this massive promo I was hoping for, where we got a little more push into the Cody and him thing. It seemed more like a Jade and Brandy thing, if you ask me.
It did, which really sucks because like you're wasting this thing that you've got Shaq and you're practically putting him in the background. And once again,
right.
What is she? Is she a face? Is she a heel? She flip-flops more than the Big Show does. She doesn't know what she is. There's no character continuity with her at all. I feel like
next week she's gonna be a face, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I have to put on this fake Southern drawl, like cornette, whatever. I'm talking about this kind of stuff because it's like it's just so bad, man. It's so bad, man. You don't know what she is. So anyway, it was. I should try to do that the whole show one time, see what that's like. But
just work on it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I didn't know what to think after this was done. I was just confused. I was just like, okay, we don't know where they're going with this. We don't know what they're trying to set up with this. Now Brandy's a heel again, it feels like, which is weird because she just got attacked. She's got her arm in the sling. Why is she healing it up? They don't know or she doesn't know what to do. I don't know.
I just wish they'd stop.
Yeah,
just
stop.
I mean, listen, I don't go deep on social media and stuff. I only kind of see what pops up. So I don't go and dig deep on this, but I'm curious what people's thought processes are when seeing this type of shit. If I've seen some people feel the way we feel, obviously, but how many people are vocalizing it, Right. If AEW is posting on their Facebook page, I don't go into all the comments. So there could be millions of comments of there people hating this. I don't know because I don't have time to go into these comments and look them all up and down and see what's going on. But god damn, man, like AEW needs to fucking take note. They take note on a lot of things. Take note on Brandy. I don't give a fuck who her husband is. I don't give a fuck what position she has in the company. Take note on Brandy. It's time to fucking leave Brandy in the office.
Yeah, it really is true. I know we're probably gonna get flack for saying that, but it really is true.
Fuck the flack, bro. Listen.
Yeah.
Fuck the flack, Brandy. I don't hate you at all. I do not hate you at all. You're like, listen. She probably will never hear this, but anybody in AEW that hears this, I do not hate Brandy. I don't at all. I just think there's nothing's gonna stick, and she's not a good wrestler. I don't care. You could try all you want. She's not a good wrestler. All right?
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years she could be a good wrestler, but that's 10 years from now. She's not a good wrestler. She's good she's very good ring announcer, and that's not to disparage her or disparage women, blah blah blah. She's not a good wrestler. She was great in the announcing. I know that's what she did before, and she hated it, and she wanted to be something else. And you know what the problem is? Now she has the opportunity to be something else because her husband is ahead of the company.
Yeah.
So now they're just forcing her down people's throats in the role she wants. All right. She could play a very, very big role in the behind the scenes set of AEW. But in terms of on air talent, like there's very little that I'm really interested in from her on screen.
Yeah.
You know, she's cut some good promos. I'm not going to lie, but she's very awkward when she comes out to the ring with people. She, again, I won't go over it. Just go listen to some of our stuff. She's awkward. If she just walked out and did the little kiss with her husband and walked out and that was it, that's great. But she gets all fucking weird and overly done. And so even a valet, it's almost like 3/4 of the time you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even want her out here as a fucking valet at this point.
Yeah.
So no disrespect, Brandy. You're beautiful. You can cut a good promo. You have in the past, but your in ring work is the fucking shits, and I think everybody's tired of you guys throwing fucking Brandy on the wall to see if she'll stick.
She keeps sliding off.
Whew, my apologies.
We needed the flames for that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, it's hard because sometimes it just kind of pops up.
No, for sure.
So Paul says Brandy was supposed to be the face, but came off as a heel in the segment. Not sure what AEW planned. Exactly.
Yeah.
New World asks, who is the worst wrestler in AEW? Woof! I'm not going to lie, man. AEW's got some shit wrestlers. Some super indie-rific motherfuckers. And, Skylar. Holy shit! Skylar comes in at the last second. We haven't seen Skylar in a few weeks. And he fucking answers right off the top, Chucky T. Bro, Chuck Taylor is a pretty good wrestler, so I won't say he can't wrestle, but he's lazy and he fucks up while he's... Alan.
Yeah.
Timeout. I'm looking at your screen, bro. You are in the dark, literally in the fucking dark. You're blending with our splash screen.
I know. I didn't want to interrupt myself during the show and go turn on a light somewhere. I don't know how that happened out of nowhere.
Just go turn the light on while I'm talking about who the worst wrestler is. Go. Yeah. Now,
all right.
New World. I will say there's a lot. I think Chuck Taylor can wrestle, but I think the problem with Chuck Taylor is he can't stay consistent. He's lazy. You see him doing lazy shit in matches. I will say Sonny Kiss sucks. Paul Palumbo made a good point. Luther is awful. Nakazawa, I think, can wrestle, but he's doing stupid shit. I would say that. I won't get into the women. That's just too in depth. There's too much to discuss there. Let's see. Who else sucks? Just really, really sucks. I'll go in terms of really just worst wrestler. I would go Luther and Sonny Kiss. I won't include any of these talents that are there to job. I won't include any of those guys. But in terms overall, that's it. I think those two are the worst. There's guys that have issues with stuff, but they're not the worst. Holy fuck, Alan! I could see you. You look like $1 million, bro. Oh my god! Look at that.
There you go.
You're a sexy motherfucker, bro.
There you go. You see? Just need some light.
Looking fresh to death, man. Holy shit. Look at you. Look at this sexy motherfucker. Guys, look at this guy.
That's some good light, actually. Yeah, wow.
Jesus Christ. You're beautiful in this shit, man. You're fucking, you need to be in the magazines, bro. Obviously, I'm fucking around because, I mean, I'm not saying you're a bad looking guy, but I'm just saying, just because it was so dark.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't paying attention because we were.
You know what happened?
Talking, but it just happened.
You know what happened? It got dark outside and you had no light on.
It's only 4:30. I would understand why all of a sudden it just got dark like that, but there you go.
It's just funny because all of a sudden I'm looking at the chat and I look over and you're literally blending in with the fucking overlay. I go, where the fuck is Alan? That light looks good, bro.
Go.
Look at that. You got that new computer, boy.
Yeah.
Now you're kidding. Hold on. Let me go. Now you fucking look good. There you go. All right. So yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, what'd you say?
But earlier it was lighter. You still think? Oh, so the picture.
Yeah, but you didn't have light. You had background light and shit.
Cool.
It was duller light. So who do you think is the worst wrestler? I definitely say Luther and Sonny Kiss.
Oh my God! See,
Paul. Hey, real quick, Paul goes. Alan joins the show.
You know what?
That's fucking great.
I always feel bad. I always feel guilty whenever I knock Sonny Kiss. But Sonny Kiss is not just the worst wrestler in AEW. He is the worst wrestler in the entire galaxy.
Whoa!
If they have wrestling on Jupiter, I have no idea who they are. I've never scouted them out. They got to wrestle better than Sonny Kiss does. Yeah.
Really?
Just the way.
How about Luther? What do you think? Anybody else?
Brandy, obviously.
No, I'm not. I didn't even get into the women because it's too much.
Okay. Who was the other guy you mentioned?
I said Luther. I think Luther too.
Luther's up there. Yeah, Luther's probably up there. I don't know whether or not Luther would be number 2 or number 3, but Sonny Kiss is by far leaves everybody else in the dust, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, and I won't say there's a lot. I said there was a lot when I started, but there's just a lot of guys that they are good wrestlers, but they're not wrestling to the ability that they should. They're being they're being too indie.
Yes.
If I could say, you know.
There's a lot
but
of that.
They are good.
Right,
but they are good wrestlers.
Yes.
So I shouldn't have said there's a lot. So yeah, I would say definitely Luther. Paul brought Luther to mind. I probably wouldn't even have thought of Luther at the moment because I don't really see him too often.
Right.
But definitely Luther and Sonny Kiss, and you know, like Scholar says Chuck Taylor, but I think Chuck is one of them guys. He's indie, he can work, but he's lazy as fuck.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He has a lot of moments where he looks like shit, or looks, you know, he looks like everything's work. He's not making it look realistic because he's just not doing it the way he should.
Right.
All right. So Jimmy says, Bill, TK called Sting. Sting's going back to WWE. You broke your agreement with the Brandy segment. That's funny. And, all right. So let's move to the next.
Yeah.
Woo. This is good. We're having some good different topical conversations here.
Yeah.
It's nice to be a little off the beaten path here. So then we get the Inner Circle segment.
This was not bad. I mean, we get Jericho on there. He said this may be the last time the fans see him as a group, as he had said last week. And he's not happy with what's been going on. There's arguing, there's shoving. He doesn't want to see anything more like that. Santana is not on the show, and Jericho says he didn't even come to work, so he's so worked up. And he basically gives the group an opportunity to air their grievances, like right on the air, right like that. And MJF is saying he loves all the guys like brothers, despite what social media says about him wanting to break up the group. He's close to the group. He wants to be here. And he brings up Sammy wanting to throw in the towel on Jericho, even though it was MJF who brought the towel out. And what you had said last week, or what we both said last week, is that Jericho says, well, we saw Dynamite and we saw what MJF did. So yes, they did exactly what we said they were going to do. They brought up the fact that this is a show and we saw exactly what happened.
No, I just had some sweat on my brow, you know?
Yeah. And Ortiz is funny. He says MJF is growing on him like a fungus.
Yes.
But he's growing
He's
on
like
him
Wardlow never changed.
Right, exactly.
He was the best part of that segment,
yes.
Ortiz.
Yes. Well, until the very end. I'm going to get that. The very end was actually pretty funny. But he tells Sammy to shake MJF's hand, and Santana tells Sammy, you're better than him, and you know it. And Sammy basically gets really serious. He says he trusts Jericho, but if one more thing happens, he's going to quit the group. He's looking really serious. And Jericho's like, all right. And they shake hands. And I don't know, you gave this face, I guess you didn't think this was funny. I thought it was funny that just out of nowhere, and this came out of nowhere, Hager's like, why's Wardlow been staring at me this whole time?
Because I thought it was fucking
funny how it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but I just thought it was childish and something too goofy to add to the segment.
Dude, this whole situation is goofy. This entire thing is goofy. I mean,
it's goofy. Listen, I will say, last week I shit on Jericho and having to have the fucking segment every week or every other week.
Yeah.
And I thought this was just gonna be another fucking stupid segment. It wasn't too bad. In general, I thought it was a solid segment. It was a little more down-to-earth serious.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got MJF having to throw a little joke in there about, no, it was just a, sweat on my brow. Like, and of course, while Ortiz threw some jokes, they were good. And they were not in a fucking goofy sense,
Right.
They were funny, but they were, it had a more serious tone to it. But then at the end, all of a sudden, you got a guy go, oh, why is he staring at me all the time? It's like, oh, Jesus, you fucking baby. You're an adult. just fucking who gives a fuck, or stop looking at each other. You know what I mean? Or say something. You're gonna wait till this whole thing. Like, that was what I didn't like about it.
Okay.
But it wasn't the worst.
I thought it was funny that it just came out of nowhere, I think is what it was. It was so spontaneous that it kind of just took me aback, and I guess I just had a laugh when it happened like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there was something, I guess, that happened. I have my notes, something at the start that they did, and I wish they left it out. But it did make me laugh. So I don't know what that was.
Okay.
I should have took better notes. I guess they did something at the beginning, and I just probably was like, while I thought it was funny, I probably just thought it was a little, again, too goofy. So since I don't know what the fuck that was, I'll shut my mouth.
All right.
So let's see real quick in the chat. Paul says Sammy leaving the group is a matter of when, not if, and will feud with MJF. That would be great. I love that.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be going that route.
Yeah. All right, so then we get a FTR and Tully promo. Do you have any specifics on that promo? Or?
I mean, it was just, talking about the loss of the Bucks. Wheeler said his emotions got the better of him, cost him the titles, and Tully Blanchard said he wasn't there, so the full team wasn't there. And then Harwood says that the best team on the planet and their goal is to win back the titles, fear the revelation. Pretty basic stuff.
Pretty much, yep. Good stuff, but basic,
yeah.
So that's why I don't take notes on a lot of the promos, because it's unless there's something major in them, it's almost just not worth going into a full discussion about them.
Right.
So then we get Butcher and the Blade in Kingston versus Archer and the Lucha Brothers. Great brawl to open up the match. The bell hasn't even rung, if I'm not mistaken. So Penta gets put through a table by Butcher. He puts him through the bell table, I would say.
Yeah.
With a power bomb, and Penta gets carted off by some refs. From what I understand, Penta is hurt. He has a bad leg, so they use this to kind of write him off TV.
Yeah.
For a few weeks, while he heals up. So then we get into the match finally, and it's 2 on 3, 3 on 2. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Anything?
I thought you were going to get.
No, I didn't. Well, okay. So during the match, there's a moment, I don't know if you noticed this, where Archer is over by his corner and he wants one of the Butcher or Blade to get in, and they're both like in and out of the ropes, like who's cut. They're looking to go in, looking to go out, looking to go. They couldn't fucking figure out what was going on. I don't know if you caught that. It's pretty fucking bad. It was, if you didn't see it, I would say just maybe run back and look.
I'll have to do that. I'll have to take another look at that.
Yeah, it was so bad, man. It's just like, dude, like he's sitting here trying to get guys in, and they're both looking at him like, huh? And it looks like they're going in, they're hopping out, they're going in. It was fucking bad. I don't know.
I'll have to go take another look at this now.
And while that's happening, he's supposed to be going for a hot tag, right? So Phoenix is there getting beat up. So Phoenix is literally he's been pretty much by Archer. If he really, wasn't stalling, he could have tagged Archer easily. But I'm not even joking. He's over 3/4 of the ring, close to Archer. And all he had to do was reach out and tag. But he couldn't because that wasn't the play. But these guys fucked around so much that it just looks so bad.
I feel like we've seen that. We've seen that before with them.
I don't remember seeing it before with them, but on that spot, I was like, God damn, man. Yeah. Anyway, but the match was okay. It's a little wild, and bro, Phoenix is gonna kill himself. I love that dude.
Yeah.
He is so good, but he is gonna kill himself.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about him.
It's funny. Okay, so I'm watching Impact on Twitch, right? I don't know if this is the same on Access, but on Twitch, I guess where they would show commercials, they show clips of old matches and shit.
Yeah.
So they're showing a match of LAX, who is Santana and Ortiz, versus the Lucha Brothers. Bro, Phoenix does this thing where he goes to, I guess, Hurricane Rana off the top rope in the middle and put one of them guys through the table on the outside on the ramp. He doesn't even get the flip. He just lands on his neck. He doesn't get the full tumble. He just lands on his neck. And it's crazy because I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's going to kill himself. And the next night, he almost kills himself on Dynamite. I don't know. I love what he does, but God damn, man. Sometimes I feel like don't take those risks that you don't need to take.
Yeah, he's a little scary. He's really a little scary.
Yeah, I just, so anyway, what else do I got? Okay, yeah, that was in my notes as well. The clip I seen. What do you got on this match? Like anything's particular or?
No, I mean it was a decent match. I'm never a fan of the multi-man matches so much, but it was a decent match, I think.
Yeah.
The post match was pretty interesting. Again, you're getting Archer in there, and he's dropping everybody, and he's looking for that choke slam. Blade hits him in the back, and Archer crushes Blade in the quarter. Butcher saves him. So they're obviously doing, what we said last week is that Archer is now pretty much a face.
Yeah.
Works for the most part for what they're doing with him now. So it's a nice little change of pace.
Right. Yeah, currently in more of the face side.
Yes, for sure.
So then we get Jade and Nyla in the back attacking Red Velvet. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Brandy Rhodes, blah, blah, blah.
And again, Jade Cargill's coming across as the heel here, and Red Velvet is obviously aligned with Brandy, so how does it make sense that Brandy came off as the heel in her promo? Again, this just makes it more silly when you see what they're doing with the story here.
Paul says Phoenix is a neck injury awaiting to happen, unfortunately. Agreed.
Probably. Oh, yeah.
We get Abaddon versus Tesha Price. This gets the job done. To build her up.
Yep.
Then she attacks Price on the post-match. Shida comes out to make the save. She enters a ring. But if you notice, she's doing a fucking great job. Shida, like, with this whole thing with Abaddon, so far she's been building. She's playing. She's acting very well.
Very good.
She had to build herself up to get in the ring. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Like, did you see?
Oh, yeah.
She emoted that very well. She was psyching herself up. So then she Kendall sticks her to the head. She's trying to just get Price and get out of there. She as she's doing that, Abaddon pulls the Undertaker sit up, and Shida makes haste out of there. She's like, God damn, let me beat feet.
Yep.
So yeah, that was good. Shida's fucking. I mean, listen, man. Shida has proven she can act too, so that's really good. It's good to see that. And between her cutting her own promos, the great emoting about this whole Abaddon thing, her in-ring work is always pretty solid. So it's good to see. I'm a big fan of hers.
Absolutely.
So then we get a Jericho promo. They're gonna make sure that MJF beats Orange tonight. I don't know if there was anything else particular. That's pretty much all I took out of the interview.
That's pretty much all I got too.
Yeah. So then, as we spoke about earlier, here comes Kenny Omega and Don Callis arriving in the old helicopter we spoke about.
Yep.
Little Lex Express-ish.
Yep. And not much to really say outside of the fact. I mean, it was pretty much a retread of what happened on Impact.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're getting ahead of me.
Okay.
So they're coming out of a helicopter. Guess who fucking pops up out of the fucking shadows of the fucking outer stadium? Marvez, trying to get another fucking interview.
Of course.
This guy's a fucking... this guy, man. He's fucking... I don't know, man. He's just out there, bro. He's like every fucking dark corner of that fucking stadium, he's somewhere. So, drives me crazy. But yeah, he's out there. It's fucking hilarious that this guy just pops up in the middle of a fucking dark parking lot and tries to fucking pounce on guys for interviews. So, before we get to the in-ring, we get Omega. I don't know if you caught this, but this time Omega comes out the heel fucking tunnel, son.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's got two extra dancers this week. Love it. And that was pretty much it. Then we get into the actual promo itself. I thought they both did a great job. I love the arrogance of it. Like you said, I mean, it wasn't the war. It wasn't the. There was little differences. It wasn't much different than the Impact. But obviously AEW is going to bring it to theirs. Jimmy, shut up, Jimmy. Jimmy in the chat. I just look over. Thunder Rosa greater than Shida. Calm down, buddy. We get it, bro. We get it. Get Thunder Rosa's titty out of your mouth. Oh, beep.
And we've lost the Philippines.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're bad. We're bad at beeping, man. We're like AEW at beeping. We just miss them all. The best for me, see what they did. One thing that you got on this that I did take note of that we didn't get on Impact was Callis saying, "Tony, you got your first lesson, kid. Welcome to the wrestling business."
Yeah.
Referring to Tony Khan. It was fucking, that line alone fucking slayed that whole thing.
Yeah, that was good.
I know you were disappointed it was a rehash it was almost a rehash of the night before, but I don't care either way. It didn't bother me. Callis is perfect in this role, bro. He's so good in it.
He is.
I enjoy what he's doing. His contract is up soon. I'm curious if he's going to stay in Impact and keep building this relationship, or if he's going to come to AEW when it's up. That's going to be an interesting scenario, and I don't know which I prefer. If he still works with AEW and is Kenny's manager and stays in Impact, I wouldn't be upset with that. But it'd be cool to have him in AEW as well, though.
Yeah.
Real quick, Scholar, Abaddon versus Shida at one of the New Year's shows, calling it now. Yeah, you might be right, Scholar. I could see that happening sooner than later.
Well, they did. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Paul says Callis has been excellent in his role so far. 100%. Go ahead. My bad. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say that they did. They didn't announce any matches, but they did announce their holiday lineup after this was done. So I wouldn't be surprised. Also, they're calling it the Holiday Bash. So like the 23rd is the Holiday Bash. On the 30th, It's the New Year's Smash. So I wouldn't be surprised if they treat these kind of like mini pay-per-views, which would be a nice change of pace, because normally wrestling around this time, you don't really see a lot of stuff that's big because folks are home for the holidays. They're usually showing a lot of best ofs and things like that, but they want to put on actual programming. So good for them.
That's going to be cool. What else you got on this whole Omega and Callis segment? I don't know if you have any particular notes.
Just
I know you were pretty ho-hum on it.
I mean, it was I like how they presented everything. You got the helicopter, you got him coming out the heel entries, he's got more dancers. Again, it's like I said with what happened with the Impact portion, they definitely, it was a lot of a retread, but it establishes him as this very top heel. And that's the job they needed to do with this. So, yeah. And Cal's basically, at the end he goes, some people make matches, some make money. Kenny makes history. That was a great line to close it out. And then Omega says, goodbye and good night. So yeah.
Right. I think they both killed it on the promos. I think Kenny did a really good job. I think he did a better job on Dynamite than he did on Impact.
Yeah, and I think that's not hard to do, because again, with Impact, they were in that, I'm going to call it the motorhome as well, RV. It's very hard to be very animated and expressive when you're in that kind of an environment versus how they were able to present this. It was a much better production, a much better presentation. So it didn't surprise me. Yeah, I agree. He definitely pulled it off better on this show. It was almost like, what it was like? It was like Impact was a dress rehearsal. That's the best way I could use this analogy. Impact was a dress rehearsal for this promo to happen here on Dynamite.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's round out the show here with the finale. We have Orange Cassidy versus MJF. This is for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. The two finalists from the Battle Royal the week prior. It was a good match, but again, as always, too many people at ringside. It's just. I believe, what was it? MJF had basically all of Inner Circle, and then of course Trent goes and gets 7 other guys to fucking come out and help.
Yeah.
For the best friends. So, which real quick, we'll get into something at the end of this. The match was good. MJF ends up taking the ring again. He wins the match. Miro's the guy who came out basically and ends up giving him the match. Miro does his little interference. It kind of furthers that feud with Best Friends and Miro.
Yep.
And Miro looks like a monster again because he's laying waste to everybody. Security. I mean, he looked really fucking. When he got that guy up and went to throw him off the side, I was like, wait a minute. Like it looked like he was going to throw him on his back, but the guy didn't want nothing to do with it. And when he let go, he was going down face first. So I think, he probably didn't land too bad, but I think Miro was going to try to flip him over on his back. And that guy seemed like he did not want to go over on his back.
No. But Miro basically came out the way we were saying he should be coming out finally.
Right. He was laying some, like, he looked good laying waste to those guys. Yeah, right here. Skylar says, Miro looked great in this segment. Love the throwing that guy off the stage.
Yeah.
Right? Skylar, is it me or did that guy look like fucking petrified that he was going to fucking throw him on his back? I swear, they're right next to they're right in the camera's face, and it looks like Miro was trying to flip him, and the guy wanted nothing to do with it, so he ended up just kind of tossing him forward. That guy looked fucking petrified, bro. It was fucking funny. So, you know what this ends up leading to, right? This ends up leading to a fucking 14-man tag next week, bro.
I'm telling you, we're being trolled. I mentioned this to you already. Tony Khan is watching this show, and now we're just being trolled. I was saying, you know what? At this point, just take the entire roster, split it 50-50, make it intergender, and have one group versus the next. Just get it over with and do it. And have it last the whole show. We'll have a special Dynamite show, 50 versus 50, and have it take up the whole show. Just do it already.
I'll tell you, like, I saw this on Twitter. Tony Khan posted. It's going to be Inner Circle versus Best Friends, Brandon Cutler, what the fuck is it? The Varsity Blondes?
Oh yeah.
And what's the 2 young kids? Top Flight. So it's 7-on-7. All right. On Twitter, on our Uncensored AEW Uncensored Podcast account, I put no with a million O's.
I saw that
as a reply.
I saw that.
So, good Lord. I just want to fucking bang my head sometimes. I don't know.
I don't see what's going to come of this. It's too freaking busy.
Here we go. Let's go. Real quick, Kenny says, Sammy better stay in his lane. He doesn't want none of, after beating Orange fair and square in the middle of the ring, MJF will squash that boy. That's fucking great. Paul says there was an angle in every segment of the show, run-ins and outside the ring. Yes, exactly. That was like last week too. That was exactly like last week too. This is what I had to talk about. Kenny goes, Alan and Bill, : I hate multi-man matches. AEW : hold my beer.
Pretty much.
So yeah, pretty much like you said, pretty much. And Kenny of course goes MJF 2021. Kenny, I feel like I've been missing that in my life for a month now. I know. I think we seen you 2 weeks ago, and you might have had a cup of tea last week with us. But yeah, that was pretty much a show. I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
It was fun. I'm really amped up for what's going on currently. obviously Sting, and obviously I'm into this Omega thing. It's got me on another little hype level. So maybe the 7-man tag might bring me back down to earth, but who knows? I'm gonna be honest. Next week, I probably will have no notes on it, and I will let Alan speak about this the whole time.
My notes are going to be, this sucked. It was all over the place.
Yeah, we might as well skip that shit. It's probably going to be the main event, too. So.
Yeah, it probably is. I have a feeling that looking at something like that, that's how they're going to end the show. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, listen, you can't even get a regular tag team match done well enough that it's not a clusterfuck with people being in and out when they shouldn't, not tagging, interfering. What the fuck are you going to do with fucking 14 guys on there? Come on, man. Whatever. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna harp on it anymore. But I think that's a show for tonight. I mean, what about you? You got anything else particular you want to say?
No. Same with you.
No?
Looking forward where they're going with a lot of this stuff next week. And again, like I said, I'm surprised in a good way and happy that they are planning to do things during the holidays again. Normally the holidays are a very slow time in wrestling, but they apparently are trying to make some good shows out of it. So good for them.
Yeah. All right. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, please. UncensoredAlliance.com. You get everything we do. Twitter, AEW Uncensored, one word, no spaces. Email, AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Write us. Love, hate, questions, comments, statements, whatever. Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. Search bar it. We have a page and a group. Like the page, join the group. Catch us on all third-party podcast apps. Just search our podcast name, AEW Uncensored Podcast. It'll pop up. Subscribe. iHeart Radio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iTunes, rate, review, and Skype, of course. Click the link. Join us. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We will see you next week. We love you guys. We love everybody listening. Shout out to the Philippines. Germany, I don't know, man. I don't know if we got any more love for you. We miss you, though. All right, everybody. Till next week, we'll see you later.
Later all.
Peace. Peace.